Inclusion, Issue 8 for July 2014. The Accessible Information Solutions Newsletter. With approximately 1 in every 5 Australians experiencing print disability, we offer information, advice and solutions to connect, empower and realise social inclusion. Welcome to issue number 8 of Inclusion. The articles in this issue are Award-winning Aussie literature, accessible to all. Road to Success, new road safety audit tool. Braille business cards, a worldwide trend. Your Guide to Survival, CFA supports all abilities with bushfire info. Interview, University of New England. Meet the Team, Giselle Perello, and Tip of the Month. To find out more, you can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, via our website, email, Google+, and LinkedIn. There are links in the email version of the newsletter, or listen to the last part of this recording for full web addresses.
Award-winning Aussie literature, accessible to all. Braille and audiobooks are produced all over the world, but it is the production of Australian literature into alternative formats that sets Vision Australia apart. The Vision Australia Information Library Service, VAILS, has an ongoing commitment to providing quality reading materials in Braille format for our library members around the nation. As part of this commitment, each year VAILS commissions the Print Accessibility Service to produce Braille versions of the complete shortlist for Australia's most prestigious literary prize, the Miles Franklin Award. A major requirement of this yearly project is ensuring that the Braille versions of the shortlist, traditionally announced in mid-April, are complete and available for loan to library members by the day that the winner of the award is announced, in the last week of June. We are pleased to announce that the 2014 shortlist is now complete and available for loan in Braille as well as DAISY audio format in some instances. The winner, announced on June 26, is All the Birds Singing by Evie Wild. The remaining titles from this year's shortlist are The Narrow Road to the Deep North by Richard Flanagan, The Night Guest by Fiona McFarlane, My Beautiful Enemy by Corey Taylor, Irie by Tim Winton, The Swan Book by Alexis Wright. Vision Australia would like to congratulate the winner and all those shortlisted for this great honour, and we know that our library members greatly appreciate being able to access the finest in Australian literature every year.
Road to Success, new road safety audit tool. Vision Australia is excited to release a road safety audit tool that lets members of the public identify issues with local streets and footpaths that impact pedestrians who are blind or have low vision. The tool was designed by Victoria Walks, with support from the Victorian Community Road Safety Partnership Program and specialist input from orientation and mobility specialists at Vision Australia and Guide Dogs Victoria, as well as road safety experts and engineers. If you are interested in auditing your local area, you can download the Road Safety Audit Tool from www.visionaustralia.org. Simply type the keywords Road Safety Audit Tool into the search box. The tool includes individual checklists for areas such as footpaths, signalised and unsignalised intersections, or public transport stops. Before using the checklists, make sure you read the introduction to the audit tool to give you an understanding of road design for pedestrians with vision impairment. The audit tool is designed to provide a comprehensive assessment of particular areas or walk-in routes. For larger areas, the tool can be used to identify problems and build a list of issues that need to be addressed, so that people with vision impairment can walk safely. Download Road Safety Audit Tool, full version, Audit Instructions and Audit Cover Sheet, signalised intersections and crossings, non-signalised intersections and crossings, path infrastructure and public transport stops, audit conclusions. The electronic version of inclusion links directly to these documents, but for our listeners, they can be downloaded from www.visionastralia.org/living-road-safety-audit-tool. The tool brings together the key issues that need to be addressed to make walking the streets a safe and independent activity for people with vision impairment, including ensuring audio-tactile buttons at signalised intersections are installed and working, making sure tactile ground surface indicators, those square tiles with raised dots or lines on footpaths and stairs, street corners and public transport stops, are correctly laid and able to be detected. Figuring out whether a driveway may pose a hazard. Providing for a clear space free from obstacles and hazards on the footpath and overhead. Letting local businesses, councils, public transport and utilities providers and construction workers know there are things they can do to help make everyone safer. The tool was developed after research showed 1 in 12 pedestrians who are vision impaired had been hit by a vehicle or cyclist in the past 5 years.
Braille business cards, a worldwide trend. Back in March, Inclusion featured an article on brailled business cards, promoting Vision Australia's Braille production service and underlining the importance of sending a strong, inclusive message for your business. In the news this month, the President of Malta, Marie-Louise Calero-Preca, has received international attention for her business cards, which feature her name and phone number in Braille. The President's move is indicative of a worldwide trend, with Braille business cards increasing in popularity. Braille is an obvious asset for business cards that will be given to people who are blind or vision impaired, providing them with a means to read your card independently and a tangible symbol of your efforts to make information accessible more generally. But you may not have considered the advantages of Braille on business cards that will be exchanged between people who are sighted. Braille on a business card demonstrates your commitment to inclusion for people with all disabilities. It raises awareness of Braille and accessibility issues. It starts conversations, and it makes your card more memorable. Vision Australia regularly adds Braille to business cards for people and companies all over Australia. The process is illustrated in our YouTube video. Go to www.youtube.com/watch?V=R Q IS F8BH-X M. The process takes 5 to 10 business days and costs as little as $1.50 per A4 sheet, plus mastering costs. Contact us, email printaccess@visionaustralia.org to join this growing trend and demonstrate your commitment to accessibility.
Your Guide to Survival. CFA supports all abilities with bushfire info. It may be winter now, but the hot weather and bushfire season will be upon us in no time. In preparation, the Country Fire Authority have been working with Vision Australia to produce audio and accessible electronic versions of their informative booklet, Your Guide to Survival. It is important to know that you do not have to live in the country to be at risk. Fires can occur where the suburbs meet the bush or in urban areas where houses have grass, bushland or parkland around them. Your Guide to Survival provides details on what you can and cannot do during the fire danger period and on total fire ban days, as well as what to do on fire risk days and where you can find warnings and updates on bushfire activity. The booklet also takes you through the big decisions you will need to make in an emergency situation, such as what will be the trigger for you to leave the area, where will you go, and what will you take with you. The Country Fire Authority recognises the diversity of people in the community and the importance of providing communications in an appropriate way. Having Your Guide to Survival available in multiple formats that are accessible to people who are print disabled means that this life-saving information can reach more of the Australian population.
I'm joined in the studio this morning by Mirella Suchu from the University of New England. Thank you very much for your time today, Mirella.
Nice to be with you.
Fantastic. Now, we've been working with the university for over 4 years now, and before we talk about the specifics, I wonder if you could kindly tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do at the university.
I'm the disability advisor for students. I work in the special needs office, which is part of student services at the university, and I provide advice to the university about disability-specific matters, as well as reasonable adjustments to students who register with our office. Prior to this role, I worked in the not-for-profit sector as a disability advocate and for the Cerebral Palsy Alliance, and I've also worked in the Australian Public Service in the Prime Minister's Department and the Office of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Health.
Oh, wow, okay, fantastic. And so how long have you been in that role where you are now?
Nearly a year now.
Oh,
so
okay.
Not very long, but yeah.
Getting
my head around it.
Yeah, sure. Now, the education sector is one clearly that Vision Australia is very passionate about. Can you tell us a little bit more about the type of support that you actually provide to students with vision impairment?
So what we do is that we assess each student's needs individually and provide the support based on those needs. Most of our students study off-campus, so a lot of our adjustments that we provide for them are for online study as well as final exams. We've got over 300 exam centres across the world. So we do provide a lot of study material in alternative formats. Other provisions include scribes, note-takers and interpreters for both exams, intensive school or lectures, transcriptions of audio and video material. We coordinate alternative assessments with lecturers and also provide some advocacy on behalf of students, in particular during intensive schools when students come from all around Australia and often don't know how to access certain services or buildings, and so we help them during that time, and also if students experience hardships such as hospitalization. We also provide general advice about assisted technology, but unfortunately have no expertise and generally cannot provide students with assisted technology within the office.
Yeah.
Students are expected to own and be familiar with their technology prior to starting at uni, but we do provide as much support as we can. Some students, in particular our older students whose vision impairment may have only developed recently, try different formats early in their study to assess what works best for them. And we do support them all the way through, as we do get a lot of older students who haven't studied since they've developed a vision impairment, or it deteriorates while they are studying with us. And so we do work with them to make sure that our service continues to be best for them.
Oh, fantastic. And I'm curious about the impact that providing alternative format material from Vision Australia actually has on students' success in their studies.
Some students simply could not access university without the provision of the material that they provide in alternative formats. We assist these students during all stages of their university experience, from enrollment to graduation, and generally the feedback is fantastic. Others are able to study more units and or get better results with the help of alternative format material, as reading or listening to this material is less tiring for them and they can focus better on the actual learning process. So the feedback we receive is generally very good, and students are able to enjoy their studies a lot more with that support.
Yeah. And in terms of provision of alternative formats, does the university actually provide any other formats internally to students outside of what Vision Australia provides?
We do provide a variety of alternative formats, and sometimes some students struggle to get into our online learning system. So we simply send them the material by email separately and provide material in hard copy or electronic copy, as well as audio material to students with various needs. Some students, for example, find it easier to switch between different modes of reading and listening to material, depending on other health conditions that they may have. And we have these formats developed by other organizations, but also internally as well. So it's a mix of both. And I'm also at the moment working with the relevant areas across the uni on improving the accessibility of our websites and online learning tools. And this will hopefully eliminate the need to provide some of that information in alternative formats and enables our students to access more material independently.
Yeah, sure.
So there's a lot of work going on at the moment.
Okay. Is that one of the initiatives that UNE is actually working on at the moment? And I wonder if there are any more.
Yes, there are some others. I'm currently developing an updated disability action plan, and some of these initiatives sort of fall under that. So part of that is improving accessibility of our online environment, as that's our main mode of teaching at UNE. We're also developing new resources for staff and students to better understand the legislative requirements, their responsibility, as well as tips and teaching methods to support students with various disabilities. As part of that, we're updating our website with information on the services we provide, the impact of different disabilities on university study, and, again, teaching strategies for staff.
Sure.
So they can just become more aware and empowered to work with students.
So it sounds like it's a constantly evolving and growing area.
It is, and there's so much more available online now that we're just trying to consolidate some of that information so our staff don't have to do a huge search online, but can know where to go if they need particular pieces of information. As part of that, we also are rolling out disability awareness training for all staff and training on specific disabilities for staff and students. I'm also in the process of establishing a disability contact in each academic school. So at the moment we don't have faculties, but they're called schools, to support staff and students with school-based adjustments, such as alternative assessments, accessible lecture theatres, and exam assignment adjustments. And I'm also working on improving cooperation with the colleges and streamlining services with the libraries, as well as the continued work to improve physical access on campus.
Fantastic.
I think it's an ongoing piece of work for everyone. And so, hopefully there's a lot going on and working better with both students and staff. Yeah,
fantastic. And in terms of the university promoting the availability of alternative format services available for students, how does that work?
There's a lot of information available on our website at uni.edu.au under student support. Students can also call us, or interested individuals can call us on 02 6773 2897, and we can discuss what services we can provide. We generally ask students to register with our service, and again, we can provide the relevant forms in alternative formats for students that need them. And they also need to provide a health professional report that names the disability or health condition, indicates its impact on the student's study or potential impact, and recommends any appropriate adjustments required. So we have a particular form available for that, but students can also, if they have that documentation available in another format, can submit that to us as well. And then we can work with them to set up a study access plan, which will include the provisions that we provide and recommendations that lecturers should implement for students.
Fantastic. Well, Mirella, thank you so much. We really appreciate your ongoing commitment to accessibility and really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Meet the team. Giselle Perello. Hi, my name is Giselle Perello. I am a customer service representative for the Accessible Information Solutions production team based in Enfield, New South Wales. We provide a service for students with vision impairment or print disability by producing books or documents in alternate formats for their studies. The school or tertiary institution registers the student for alternate format production services, and the cost of production is covered by the institution. My role is to liaise with disability advisors from universities and vision teachers from secondary schools in making sure their students' needs are met and they are able to complete their studies, enabling them to go into the workforce with confidence. I also look after all Braille music requests from our library clients. It is very rewarding to know we make a difference in someone's life, both for educational needs and personal interests such as music, by simply converting documents and books to alternate formats such as audio, Braille and e-text.
Tip of the month. Decorative and artistic fonts may seem appealing to the eye, but for someone with low vision or a print disability, these fonts can be illegible. Always make sure that you use a sans serif font, such as Arial, for optimum readability, and avoid italics. If you must use a decorative font, use sparingly, and make sure that the text is repeated underneath in a more reader-friendly font.
Contact us. Here's how. Email printaccess@visionaustralia.org. Our website. Go to www.visionaustralia.org/business-and-print-accessibility-services. And for general information and the latest news, you can connect with us via social media. For Facebook, go to facebook.com/Vision Australia Print Access, all one word. Twitter, go to twitter.com/VA Print Access. Google Plus, go to plus.google.com and search for VA Print Access. And LinkedIn, go to linkedin.com/company/388547. Thanks for listening to Edition 8 of Inclusion. Inclusion is copyright 2014 to Vision Australia, all rights reserved. You can update your subscription preferences or unsubscribe from this list by emailing printaccess@visionaustralia.org. This edition was recorded in 2014 by Accessible Information Solutions of Vision Australia. Your narrators were
Deborah Pearce,
Carl Hughes,
Elaine Carter.
and Angus Spence. Stay tuned for Edition 9.